Hello and welcome to today's news. I am Alif bin Muhammad Amin. My matrix number is D20211098948. And for our news today, we have a very interesting topic which is about computer crime and security, and we have invited a special guest to discuss about it. Hello there, Encik Norman. Hello. Encik Norman?
Yes.
I can hear you well. Now, can you tell us more about data diddling?
I see, I get it.
So, data diddling is a cybercrime involving deliberate alteration of raw data at the point of entry to gain financial or competitive advantages. Examples include falsifying financial records to evade taxes or inflate business success. It can be done manually or via automated malware, making detection difficult once data is processed. The consequences include operational issues, legal penalties, and loss of trust. Preventive measures include validating data entry, restricting system access, maintaining audit trails, educating employees, and implementing strong cybersecurity practices to ensure data integrity. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. So, data diddling. Data diddling actually harms data integrity and reliability, essential for decision making and trust. By altering raw data, it causes financial, operational, and reputational damage. For example, falsifying financial records misleads stakeholders and exposes business to legal penalties and credibility lost. Yes. Preventing data diddling involves strict access controls, data validation, audit trails, and encryption to ensure data integrity. Organizations should use cybersecurity tools, conduct regular audits, and enforce segregation of duties to minimize risks. Employee training, sample evidence system, and fostering a culture of integrity with clear policies further enhance protection and promote ethical behavior. Yeah. Thank you for the fascinating input, Encik Norman. Moving on. So, how do we actually register our own IP to the My IPO software? That's a very good question. So, software actually plays a critical role in enhancing daily life and driving innovation across industries. Protecting its intellectual property, IP, is essential to prevent unauthorized use and recognize developers' efforts. So, in Malaysia, yes, registering software with the Intellectual Property Corporation of Malaysia, which is My IPO, grants legal rights over its use and distribution. Copyright is the primary protection, covering source code, object code, and user interfaces. Additional protections such as patents for innovative system or algorithm and trademarks for unique branding elements may also be relevant. The steps to register software IP with My IPO are: the first one is understand copyright protection. Familiarize yourself with copyright laws, which safeguard software components like source code, object code, and related materials. So the second one is access My IPO resources, where you need to visit the My IPO website to review guidelines and requirements for copyright registration. And the third one is for complete the application form. Accurately provide details about the software, including its ownership and features. So what you must do for the next step is you must pay the registration fees. Like submit the necessary fees as specified by My IPO itself. And the next step is, I think this is the last step. Oh no, not yet. This is before the last step. It is the submit the application. Provide the completed form and supporting documents to My IPO and await confirmation of successful registration. Yes. So the final one is registering your own software IP. So registering software IP ensures exclusive rights of its use, reproduction, and distribution, protecting it from duplication or tampering. This legal safeguard enhances the software's market value, promotes innovation, and fosters confidence in sharing creations. By following these steps, developers like myself can ensure my work remain protected and contribute positively to society under the specifically Malaysian law. Thank you again, Encik Norman. Now, for the next one is privacy and surveillance. Now, what is it actually? I see. So this is the question. So, the word surveillance from the Cambridge Dictionary is the act of watching a person or place, especially a person, believed to be involved with criminal activity or a place where criminals gather. But based on the network terms, it is known as data surveillance, which means the systematic monitoring and collection of digital data about individuals, groups, or systems through various technologies and platforms, including tracking web browsing activity.
For the next question is, what is types of surveillance?
I see. So there are actually a lot of ways to conduct surveillance, and there are 6 types of surveillance, which is physical, electronic, computer, social media, financial, and biometric surveillance.
What are examples of surveillance?
See. So the 2 common types of surveillance are physical surveillance and video surveillance, both widely used in daily life. So physical surveillance involves direct human observation, such as security guards monitoring shoppers in stores, checking access points in buildings, or participating in neighborhood watch programs. While video surveillance uses CCTV cameras to monitor spaces like malls, airports, and office buildings. Security staff review live feeds for suspicious activity, allowing efficient oversight of large areas without constant physical presence. So, both of these methods enhance safety and security by deterring threats, ensuring order.
Can you monitor employee by using computer
Now,
activity?
this is quite a controversial question, I see, yeah. But yes, employers can monitor the employees' computer activity, though it is subject to legal and ethical considerations, especially around privacy rights. Typically, organizations monitor employee computer to ensure productivity, security, and compliances with company policies. A company might use software like ActiveTrack or HubStaff to monitor employees' computer activity. These programs track time spent on websites and apps, log productivity levels, and provide detailed reports to employers. For instance, if an employee spends excessive time on non-work related sites like social media, the employer can identify this through the software and take appropriate action.
Does the government spy on its citizens?
Also a controversial question, but yes, governments around the world engage in various forms of surveillance on their citizens, often for reasons related to national security, law enforcement, counterterrorism, and public safety. An example of how they do it that is by using Facebook, where the company uses mass surveillance. Computer Facebook tracks the pages you like, the posts you interact with, comment, and share, your friend connections, and even the external websites you visit after clicking on links within the platform. So this data is used to build detailed profiles of users, which are then used for targeted advertising. For instance, if you frequently interact with posts about fitness, Facebook's algorithms will show you more ads related to gym membership, health products, or fitness events.
How is surveillance an ethical issue?
I see. Okay, so surveillance raises significant ethical issues because it involves the collection, monitoring, and analysis of individuals' personal data, often without their full knowledge or consent. One of the examples of the issues are privacy violations, where mass surveillance such as monitoring phone calls, emails, or social media activity collects data on individuals without explicit consent. This very undermines trust and creates an environment where people feel constantly watched, which can harm their sense of security and freedom. Yeah.
What can you do to block government
Question.
surveillance?
To prevent the surveillance government from checking our content, we need to use end-to-end encrypted messaging like WhatsApp and also Telegram. This thing will prevent other third parties anonymously looking at the chats that we have with people. So also please avoid using public Wi-Fi because hackers cannot get our personal information because hackers can access our phone using the public Wi-Fi itself. The public Wi-Fi that has no passwords. So last but not least is do not turn on our location if needed because people can track where we are going by just knowing where is our phone located. So use navigation only when you are needed. Okay?
Hello.
Yeah.
So why do you think reliability is important in a computer?
Okay. So to answer your question, yes. Reliability in a computer system is crucial because it ensures that the system performs its intended functions consistently and without failure. Reliable systems are essential in various contexts, from personal computing to mission-critical operations, where errors or downtime can lead to significant consequences. And also the most important aspect is builds user confidence by delivering consistent performance and minimizing frustrations caused by crashes or errors.
Can you tell me the difference of reliability from Nokia phone versus Apple or Android phone?
Okay, very good question, but it's quite hard to answer. But based on my opinion, phones like Nokia 3310 were known for their exceptional durability. So these devices were built to withstand rough handling and even extreme conditions. BlackBerry phones, while more sophisticated, also featured robust hardware with physical keyboards, that you can press, that rarely malfunction. Also, their battery life is far more lasting than today's phone, and a single charge will last for days. And these phones wouldn't have functional problems because of the design is very simple. But for nowadays, Android and also Apple phones, especially Apple phones, have significantly more powerful hardware and high resolution displays and advanced cameras and everything you could ask for. But these devices are very delicate and prone to physical damage, such as cracked screens, and also water damage. And the battery consumptions are very high due to lots of demanding yet consuming apps that needs a lot of power and also system so that the phone could be used at its peak point. While the Nokia and BlackBerry era emphasized durability and longevity, modern devices prioritize advanced functionality but not so durable. Okay.
For the final question, can you please describe the code of ethics for My Sejahtera app?
Okay, so for the final question that you asked is, for the answer for that is the Software Engineering Code of Ethics by ACM and IEEE outlines principle for ethical conduct. So there are four key principles applied to the development of My Sejahtera, which is the Malaysia's COVID-19 contact tracking app. So the first one is public. Engineers must act in the public interest by ensuring My Sejahtera promotes well-being, minimizes harm, and builds trust. This includes making the app accurate, reliable, and accessible to all, including users with limited digital literacy or poor internet access. So the second one would be client and employer. Engineers should balance the Malaysian government's requirements with users' rights. This involves clear communication, transparency, and accountability to ensure the app meets its goals while maintaining ethical standards. Now, the next one is product engineer. The product engineers must deliver high quality, secure, and user-friendly software. MySejahtera should be thoroughly tested, handle sensitive data securely, and meet professional standards without sacrificing quality for speed or cost. And last but not least is judgment. Engineers should make independent ethical decisions based on evidence. They must address risk, communicate openly about potential issues, and remain accountable for their choices to build trust and ensure the app's success. So, these principles ensure MySejahtera supports public health ethically and effectively.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Norman.
and I hope I've answered all of your questions.
Yes, you have answered all of the questions correctly, and yeah, we
You're
have
welcome.
a lot of
And
insights.
hope to
Thank
meet
you
you
again.
soon.
Thank you again, Mr. Norman. Bye bye.